really interesting because I think what's happening. Everybody feel the energy here tonight?
Yes.
So one thing you understand, guys, is there's a couple different kinds of energy. There's one energy where you get a lot of people off the street. Nobody knows nobody. It's really like a weird energy, like what's going on while I'm here. And then you got an energy where it's a lot of people bring the best friends up here.
Yeah.
And it's a whole different energy. And I say it again to applaud yourself because a lot of people, what's happening is people are catching on when Mr. Huffman's been beaten into his hall. Hey, it's best buddy building. How many times best buddy building? It's like, well, I know. We don't really know until you start doing it.
Right.
And what's happening is starting to take place. And when the water in the harbor is starting to raise, a lot of it's guys like Suderman team. You know, those guys sort of they raise the level of water in the harbor. And now then it crazy start getting uncomfortable. It's like, oh my gosh, my numbers so now. But I gotta get my crap going. It's funny what the dynamic leadership does to an office. And so, but again, just to show you guys. So here's what we're gonna do. We go to the best way to get how to get a appointment set. We say this all the time, guys. And what I've learned, you know, listen to great leaders. I heard a talk by Mr. Frakehouse a while back. Said what, and I think all great leaders in the company agree. What separates an average base shop from a big base shop is the speed of the system. That's right. It's the speed getting through the process. And so I know for myself, and guys, I'll tell you stuff that I screwed up for years, and it's just tough to get through. But and it can be uncomfortable setting those appointments with a fast start planner. And what happens, that anxiety starts to raise. And Bob Safford says it. Every time you meet with somebody, they're either selling you or you're selling them. And it's easy to think in terms of, well, I'm on an interview. If I'm on a KT, I'm selling them or selling me. But it happens with our current agents as well. If you're still with an agent as a trainer and the anxiety raises, they say, you know what, my friend's working right now, this happened, I can't call them right now. If our response is, no problem, we'll talk about it and just call them later and let me know. Everybody been there? Yeah, everybody lying up in there. Like, no, it's like, yeah, did you just learn the script? Call them later tonight and we'll talk about it. That don't happen. They ain't gonna call them. And so you got to call them right there. But there's a couple ways you can approach it. Like Mr. Huffman would teach us the best buddy thing. I know when I first heard about this, you think about this, who's got brothers and sisters here? Okay, so think about our system. A lot of our script will teach you how to set appointments. What's the basic script we teach? And I'm going through training. I got to see 10 training appointments, get that certification knocked out. Would you help me out? Are you with me? Yep. I knew for me, it was uncomfortable to call my brother or my sister and say, hey, I'm getting licensed to the state of Texas, Ben. I've got to see 10 training appointments to get my certification. I was wondering if you and our race would help me out. That's uncomfortable. That's weird. Why? Because you're going to have those 2 or 3 best buddies. You don't call and say that. On the other phone going, what are you talking about? Your best buddies are going and say, hey, you at home tonight? Yeah. I need to. Hey, I'm going to give props to this guy right here. He got beat, and now he's taking care of business. How about that? That's my.
Hey, let me see them legs.
I got
Can
you.
somebody take a picture?
Yeah,
Somebody
we
take a picture.
I'll get you a picture.
He has no cleavage.
I never get kissed by a ginger.
I never wore a dress in public. So here's what I'm gonna do. If I call my brother to get trained, it's awkward. But I call my brother and say, hey, I'm coming over tonight. Right or wrong?
Right.
So that's the whole leverage the best buddy feeling. That's what Scott and Dave and these guys are doing, and I think other people are catching on to it. It's a matter of getting in front of best friends as fast as you can. Think about this. Whenever you're still with the trainee, think about the mentality. And I'll use Walter for example. If I tell Walter, Walter, I will give you, again, Primerica side, I will give you, if I just meet you day one, we're talking, I'll give you $1,000 to give me in front of your best friend today.
Yes, no question.
So if he calls and says, no, he can't come over, what are you going to say?
I'm going to bring his butt up.
But he said, no, you really can't come over.
No, I'll drag you.
No, I don't want to see you tonight.
No, yeah, you're coming.
So if you understand what's on the line, you're getting for your best friend's house. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You're not going to take no. We talk about the time, I've heard this. I remember what changed my life in 7 appointments. I was 7 appointments one day, and I got a client said, no, we're not interested. Okay, and I was like, okay, no problem, appreciate it. Have a good day. Click. And Jeremiah walks up and goes, Austin, you have to understand, every phone call you make, you have to have a mentality. You know for sure that person's going to die tomorrow in a car accident. Right? If you know that person's going to die in a car accident, they have no life insurance, how's your approach going to be to get in front of them? Now the phone call changed a little bit. Now the phone call, no, we're not interested. Well, I understand what you're saying. A lot of people say that and think I'm going to, or sell them something. And you're going to go through some objections. That makes sense. You're going to do it cake in the house. So a lot of that stuff is eliminated with your best buddy system. Is that what what are you doing tonight? Are you working or just? I'm just kidding. Carlin's a stud, by the way. He keeps the thing running smoothly with something. So here's how I want to go through a couple things real quick. The first thing we practiced this before, but this is stuff you got. This is the fundamentals of Primerica, guys. If you learn the fundamentals, I know if I'm a basketball coach, what am I teaching? I'm teaching dribble, pass, and shoot. Dribble, pass, and shoot. You can always pretty fancy plays, these inbound plays. No, I'm gonna teach dribble, pass, and shoot. If you learn the fundamentals, the rest of it will come into place.
Yep.
The fundamentals of Primerica is what? Getting on KTs is one of them.
Yep.
This is a KT business. Get on, get you stable. So how we do that with best friends. If I'm going to go through, we're going to identify a couple people. This is not part of this training, but the refrigerator privileges. Anybody, or the hand grenade privilege. If I'm calling my best friend saying, hey, who are those friends? If I call and say, hey, I'm selling live hand grenades, I want you to buy some, they're going to say, whatever, dude, come on over. Does that make sense? Close people. You'll identify those couple close people, and we practiced this before. First off, how you say it can matter.
Yeah.
You can't say, hey, I just called to see if we get home tonight. I got it's got to have a sense of urgency. You got to show, again, speed and everything. So, hey, I was constantly at home. I was going to drop by a little bit. I got something I want to show you. You going to be there? The question, the key is, are you going to be there?
Yeah.
It closes it up. So what's their answer? Yeah. Great. I'll see you in a little bit. That's all it is. Now, they say, what is it? Trust me, you'll see. In my, again, this is just real situation. My best friend, when I first moved to Dallas, I had one person in Dallas. So went back to that Walter example. I didn't care what happened. I was getting with him. I called him and said, hey, man, anytime I'm sure what I'm doing, he goes, and I tried to set up one with him, and I screwed it up. I wouldn't coach for him. And he goes, hey, Austin, man, I love you. We're not interested. I said, no, you don't understand, Matthew. I'm coming over this week. What day is good for you? And I got in front of him, and built the market out of it. So you got to get for these people. So here's what we're going to do, guys. We're going to split up and pair up the person next to you. We're going to go through this top part. So, hey, I just called to see if you're going to be home. I was going to drop by the wall. I got something to show you. You're going to be there. You get a question, you're going to be there. And it's a sense of urgency. It's quickness, it's speed. So, sound good? Yeah, 5 minutes going through this. And then we're going to bring some people up and get better. Sound good?
Yeah.
Questions?
Nope.
All right, let's get to work.
Hey, man, I was just calling to see.
How it feeling? Good?
Yeah.
Yep. Hey, y'all ready? I got the people calling me real quick. Tommy, what's up, dude?
Hey, Austin, what's going on, man?
Not much, man.
Hey, I just want to see if you're going to be home. I was going to drop by a little while. I got something I want to show you. You going to be there?
Yeah, dude.
Awesome, man. See you a little bit.
Well, what is it?
Trust me, man. You'll see when I get there. I really can't talk right now. I'll see you later.
All right, brother. See you in a little bit.
Oh, yeah. He's
All
on.
right, Tanner, what's up, dude?
Hey, Austin, man, I was just calling to see if you're gonna be home. I've got something to tell you. You gonna be there?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome, man. I'll see you in a bit.
Cool. What is it?
Man, trust me, you'll love it when I get there. I'll see you in a second.
All right, brother. Sounds good. Benny, what's up, man?
Hey, what's going on, Austin? Hey, I was just calling to see if you're gonna be home tonight. I wanted to stop by. I had something I wanted to show you. You gonna be there?
Yeah. What you got, man?
Trust me, you'll see when I get there. I'll see you in a little bit.
Sounds good, dude. Hi, what's up, man?
Hey, what's up, Austin? I'm just calling to see if you're just gonna be home in just a little bit.
Yeah, what you got?
Well, I just want to stop by there and show you something. Are you gonna be at home?
Yeah. What do you want to show me?
Well, hey, I can't explain it right now over the phone. I'll just have to show you. Trust me, you'll love it. I'll show you when I get there. Thanks,
Sounds
man.
good, man. Quake, what's up, brother?
Hey, what's up, Austin? How you doing?
Not much, man.
Hey, man, I was just calling to see if you're gonna be home, man. I got something I want to pop by and show you real quick. You gonna be there?
Yeah. What is it?
Trust me, man. You'll love it when I show you when I get there. I'll see you when I get there.
All right, brother. Lawrence, what's up, dude?
Hey, what's going on, Austin? I was just calling to see if you're gonna be home. I was gonna drop by in a little bit. Got something I want to show you. You gonna be there?
Yeah, man. What is it?
Man, trust me, dude. You'll see when I get here. But hey, can't talk right now, man. I'll see you in a little bit.
Sweet. What is it, Amy?
Hey, Austin, how you doing?
Good.
Hey, I was just calling to see if you're gonna be home.
Yeah.
Had something I wanted to show you. You gonna be there?
Yeah. What is it?
Awesome. It's just I'm just gonna show you something. Trust me. I'll see you in a bit. Okay?
I'm good, girl.
Dude, ain't it crazy how we overcomplicate this thing?
Yeah.
Isn't it not insane?
So now think about this. If you make those calls, are they gonna answer the phone?
Yes.
They're gonna answer the phone. Now, because I'm calling from Quake's phone. If I'm training Quake, we're calling Quake's phone. I'm sitting there, okay, let's call your buddies. You can call. We're, just like anything else, we're gonna drill this. Now, understand their circumstances. And again, I don't know. These are we do. So this we've had started having some success with. If we make those calls, and let's say buddy don't answer, doesn't happen, we've got to make sure we get appointments set up. You do not let them walk out of that fast start planner without getting KT set up. Are you with me?
Yeah.
Good?
Yeah.
I say all the time, if you don't get KT set up, it's because the fear of the trainer, not the trainee.
That's right.
Make sense? And so with that said, we'll reach out. Mr. Huffman, do you want to just stay with, do you want to go to the next part also? We're talking about doing 2 parts, but
Well, you got time.
okay, cool. Sound good?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I can get up, dude.
Okay, sweet. I get to talk about a super exciting part of our business, QBI.
Yes!
Oh my goodness. Okay, so this is one of the most vital, important parts of our business and probably the least trained on out of everything. So I want to cover a couple of basics. I don't know if you guys have ever heard, but like they talk about why Apple is so successful is because they talk about why, what, how, instead of like going from the center out, they talk about the concept of why first, and that's why they're so powerful. And so I kind of want to do that with QBI because everybody talks about the what, right? Make sure your QBI is high. How? We'll follow up on your craft, right? But we don't talk about the big why of what QBI is and what it means. So really quick, QBI is your quality of business index, okay? So the reason why it's so important is because it exists to and also to bring integrity and credibility to our businesses. It makes sure that we're following through and serving families appropriately and in a timely effort. So I think we have a misconception sometimes that when we sit at a table and submit a life application that we made a sale. But the reality is we initiated a sale, we didn't make a sale. It's the same thing with a recruit. People say, oh, I got to recruit when they get an IBA. Absolutely not. R. Williams says 8 to 10 hour recruiting process to actually get a recruit. It's the exact same thing with a client. Because if you, I've been reading this book, it's super good, The Little Red Book of Selling, and it talks about people are considering the risks of the purchase, but not just before they actually sign the life application, even afterwards. So the things that are going through their mind when you walk out of their houses, they're worried about the value of the dollars that they spend. Too much. Do I really need it? The quality of the product. They're afraid that the service won't be there after the sale, or that there's overstated promises and they're afraid to trust the salesman. Okay? Now we sell an intangible, meaning it's life insurance. You don't see it in your hand. It's not, here's an electronic you can buy, you can touch it, you can feel it, you know where it is. So much of what we do is the service that we provide. We talk about it all the time. We're a financial coach to families. Well, we got to follow through on that. Otherwise, it's an empty promise that leads to a lack of trust from our clients about being at their house for hours and hours and like an insane amount of time but I am talking about being intentional and consistent, okay? So in this book, he says risk is actually a lack of confidence, trust, and believability, either in the product, the service, the company, or the salesperson. The absence of these elements causes doubt and a rethinking of the purchase. Have you ever written a life app and then they're like, oh, maybe not so much, you know, a little bit down the road, right? And you're like, why did that happen? Well, we have a great company. The product is like literally not matched in the marketplace. So that means that it might have to do with the salesperson or the services that we're providing. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's going to take an understanding of that and then accepting responsibility for that. So having said that, I'm going to go into Life Manager and go through some things of actually how to do it. But I want to read something really quick. In this book, it talks about making the sale and keeping the sale, and it talks about some of the most important things. Number one, make friends before you start or don't start at all. When I meet a prospect on a sales call, the first thing I do is establish some kind of rapport and some common ground. I laugh with them, talk with them about them, not me. I establish credibility with them, and then I begin my sales presentation. I would rather walk out of a sales presentation from a prospect who says, let's get right down to business. What he's really saying is, let's get right down to how much is it. I don't want to win sales on price. I win sales on friendship. I give the price sales to someone else. They're the biggest pain in the butt on the planet, using a different word, and so are the people associated with them. Guys, this is literally exactly our business. Sometimes we get so professional and organized and everything else. We're trying to like sales close people. We completely forget to build a relationship. We're professional, but talk friendly. Too many salespeople think you have to be professional in order to gain buyer credibility. Nothing could be further from the truth. I'm friendly. I try to act professionally, but I can't. But I always err on the side of being too friendly. The stiff sales professional will give a bid or a proposal, and if it isn't the lowest, he walks away with a goose egg. Me, I'm the friendliest, and I'm usually the highest price. I wonder if there's a correlation here. Not saying be the highest price, although it seems to be working for companies like BMW and Mercedes-Benz. But I'm saying be the friendliest. Sales for the moment, friends for life. Sales for commission. Early on in my writing career, I created a quote: you make a sale, you can earn a commission. Friend, you'll earn a commission. That's so good. If you haven't written it down yet, write it down. If you make a sale, you can earn a commission. If you make a friend, you'll earn a fortune. This philosophy is rarely used in sales. Those who employ it are the top performers and the top paid salespeople. They build relationships. They don't worry about quotas. They concentrate on the value they provide to their customers and the corresponding orders that accompany it. I challenge you that this is the single hardest lesson to learn, and at the same time, single most powerful and most financially rewarding that I could ever teach a person. It is the essence of my philosophy. All things being equal, people want to do business with their friends. All things not quite so equal, people still want to do business with their friends. Okay, so like literally the single most important thing we can do to increase KPIs is to build a relationship with people. You can't build a relationship in one day and then never talk to them again. And then when there's an issue with their policy, hound their phone, asking them for something. Okay, anybody ever been there? Yeah. Like, oh, this policy's been pending for like 59 days. Let me check it out, right? So then you start calling the client, like, send this form, sign this. Oh yeah, with this. And you're asking them for all these things when what value have you provided and given to them since the day you walked out of their house, okay? So writing, first of all, to QBI is write good business. I think everybody in this room is pretty familiar with that. Don't write it on someone that, you know, literally makes no income. Don't write it on someone who's broke that is living off of government assistance, right? So if someone doesn't have the money, they're not going to be able to afford life insurance. They're not going to keep it in the first place, okay? So write good business on people that need it. Don't write business on single people unless they have dependents, right? They don't need life insurance. That's what whole life people do. They sell a product. We meet a need, okay? So write good business. Second of all, treat it like a business, right? Sometimes we just slap, you know, policies on the wall and then hope that some of them stick and get issued e-delivery, right? Anybody else out there? Yeah. Every single morning, you've got to come in here early, like look at your life manager once a day and just say, hey, where are we at with things? Welcome calls. Let them know that you're glad that they're your client, that they're trusting you with their financial future. Send a thank you card or have your partner do it. Make sure that their meds are scheduled. Be proactive. If you look on there, and I'm going to show you in a second, it says APS, That means they're waiting for a doctor's note. Okay, that means the medical company sent your client a form that has to be turned in. You know how often that gets turned in? Pretty much never, right? Policies charge back when that happens because the clients forget and it's an extra step. Okay, so you can follow up on that and make sure that it happens.
The attending physician statement, a lot of times it's sent straight to the doctors and they sit on, so a lot of times you have to call the client.
And they've changed that. They've changed it actually. So now everything goes, because the doctors were taking so long, now they go through the client, they have the client request it itself. So Exam 1 has even improved the process since then, but it still takes following up on. And then lastly, deliver the policy soon. We were talking with like Robin Whitney Cooper, and they were saying that I think it was like over 90% of policies that are issued in the first and delivered, like said and done in the first 45 days stick. Okay, so the longer that you wait, the more the people forgot. You close the door with logic and emotion, but then if you don't talk to them about it and remind them of what plan, and then you just expect something to fall out of the air, like a lot of times ends up falling off because they lose that focus. So I'm going to show you really quick on how to actually use Life Manager here. So you go to My POL, and then you go to All Apps, you go to Life Manager. Some people might not know how to just kidding. I just taught transfer. Okay, so these are all the policies that are underwriting right now. Okay, so the way that you look at something, you can click on pending. And once it opens up, this home office responsible requirements, that shows you what's still needed for the policy. Okay, so you click on there, and this is going to tell me these medicals are still needed. So his medicals haven't been completed. When I click on the on one of these blue links, it's going to take me to Exam 1's website, which is going to show me exactly where we're at with this guy's medicals. So it's been ordered, and they left a message. This policy was like really written yesterday. So they left a message in his phone to try to schedule his medicals, but they haven't been scheduled yet. So tomorrow morning, I'm going to look again. And if it says they left him another message, I'm going to know I should probably call the client and be like, hey, would we be able to get your medical scheduled? Sweet, I'll help you do it right now. Let me three-way the medical company in, and we'll get that knocked out. So I'll be happy to help you.
I have a question.
Yeah.
It's been tempting for me. When you're trying to get in and out of there in a timely manner, and you've already been there for a bit, do I try to, whatever, it does give you the option to help schedule their medical exam with them right then there on the app.
Yep.
What is your, because sometimes I've left that day, you'll get a call tomorrow, whatever, but I've also found that that's not my strength, is following up on the paperwork, so I'm kind of learning that to schedule it there. I don't know, what have you found the difference is between you schedule it with them or scheduling it?
I think it's definitely beneficial to schedule as long as it's going to take you 5 minutes.
5 minutes, yeah.
At the most, to figure out a day and time to work. I think it's good to get something on the books. Yeah. So that's super good. So that's how you look at and see if their medicals have been scheduled. Let's find something else. The other cool thing is up here at the top where it says add notes. You can write a note on there and home office sees it, and then like the agent that wrote the policy can see it, and you can see it. Okay, so like if I call a client and welcome them, I can say like, hey, talk to the client, welcome them, their medicals are scheduled for this date. And so I'll write that in there, and then when Kevin goes in to look at it, he's like, oh, okay, cool, first to talk to this person, and we can see where we're at. If the client's like going to be out of the country for 3 weeks, we can write that in there too, and so home office can see it, as well as the agent that wrote it. And so let's find another one. I think that will be.
Come to this field. Oh, sorry.
Okay, so these guys were having trouble with scheduling their medicals, and so if they don't schedule their medicals for long enough, they cancel the order. Well, how do you know that? You don't, unless you go on here and look at it. Okay, so you think it's still pending and in process, but in reality, it's like at a dead halt because no one's following up on it. So then when you open this, it still shows that the medicals need to be done, and when you go to the website, it will show that they called the client like 30 times or whatever, and they didn't answer. And so I called the exam company and I said, hey, like, what's going on with their medicals? She's like, oh, the order's been canceled. She's like, the order's been canceled, okay? And so I'm like, well, how are we supposed to know the order was canceled? You don't know unless you follow up on here. So she goes, okay, I'll reopen it for you. Well, they reopened it. We scheduled it. Caitlin scheduled it with the client. They didn't reopen the wife's. They only reopened the husband's. Like, you think that would be a given because it's the same order number on the same policy. Well, how did I know that? Because I was following up every day. When I looked on there, I noticed that the wife's weren't scheduled. So I called exam 1 and said, that examiner tomorrow is supposed to be doing both. Why isn't the wife's on there? She was like, oh, it's still showing canceled. So the examiner could have shown up to the house, only done the husband's medicals, and left, and then we're gonna have to struggle to get back. You know what I'm saying? So being on top of this, like every day, just look at it. You know, just it's not like we all have like 200 policies and we can't handle a look at them.
Is it true that without you, Trey's QBI would be a 0? That's the.
So then I wrote a note on there so that Kevin could see that I reopened the medicals with the exam company, okay? That they were scheduled. So it's really important that you're looking at this every single day. The other thing is that when a policy actually gets issued, so there's this awesome little thing on the right-hand side that says issue e-delivery. Sometimes there's a misconception. I've met some people that think that if they don't view it online, that the policy will charge back. That's not true. They send it to them, and if they haven't viewed it by a certain date, they send a mail out to them, giving them the basic details of the policy and also informative. So e-delivery is just you don't have to go back to their house for an added appointment for no reason. I mean, the policy was issued just fine. And so that's perfect when it says that. If it says issued with requirements, then you can click on that and it will tell you exactly what you need to do right now. So it will tell you that they've been rated for something. You have to submit the delivery receipt basically and additional money requirements. Okay, so if you don't do everything that it says on there, it's not going to work out for you. So you have to make sure that all those things are completed. So really quick, the last thing that I'm going to show you.
I got a question.
Yeah.
Have you guys been scheduling your medicals online for a while?
Like with the app?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes it doesn't work.
Yeah,
Sometimes
I had two
it
times
doesn't go through or whatever, but
it didn't show up.
so then just call the client the next day. Like it's also cool to have like your partner or someone else call the client because then that's another added relationship. Like I handle all the licensing on our team, and that's how I get to build such a good relationship and a lot of recruiting hours